Well, greetings. Welcome to another edition of the AfterBuzz. I am your almost hoarse host, Brandon Coates. Producer Dave, sitting over there. How you doing, Dave?
Doing great. Thank you very much, friend.
Something with it's been going all week. You've been listening to the morning show. I'm battling something here that I'm not sick, but something in the air with all the winds we've been having here in El Paso. This could be a little gross and graphic, but it fucks with my nose and creates this like post nasal drip, and that just annihilates my voice for some reason. And I haven't been able to get it back yet. It's been, I think yesterday might have been the worst day, and then we're on the incline right now, and I'm starting to get it back. But man, I got to figure out something in regards to preventing this from happening because that sucks. But anyway, so that's why I sound like how I sound. We've got a lot of different things we're going to cover here on this week's AfterBuzz. Before we do that, make sure down below you're hitting the like button. You're subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell so you get the notifications. And also, if you want to, share it. Share it with the world. Let people see the AfterBuzz, as many as possible.
Let's get it out there.
Exactly. So, kicking things off today, we'll get to actually no, let me give a quick rundown really for I got a funny story about somebody who pooped their pants at the place I used to work at down in Florida, and I don't know if I've told this on the AfterBuzz or not. If I have, and I've told the story before, I'm sorry. It's a funny story. I like telling it. We're gonna talk about Idris Elba. I got a serious man crush on that dude. Like that guy's the man. And then we're also gonna talk about some NCAA brackets. But the first thing that we're going to talk about, it was my birthday on Sunday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Brandon.
And it was a pretty nice little kind of quaint birthday with the family. We didn't do a whole lot. I did go out to dinner last night with, the wife, the kid, and her sister and her boyfriend. But it was just five of us for dinner. It wasn't anything big. Actual dinner. Oh, let me rewind a little bit because on Saturday I was like, I want to get some corned beef because my birthday's on St. Patrick's Day, and Saturday I was like, I'll make it tonight. We'll have some tonight, and then tomorrow morning. And I do this every fucking time, man. I always forget how long it takes to cook that shit. So I grabbed it, and we went to Walmart, and we didn't get there until later. It was like 8 o'clock already. And I'm sitting there, and I'm looking through, and I finally found the corned beef, and I see this says 50 minutes. And I'm like, fuck, like we're going to be eating super late. Whatever, I don't care. I want corned beef. So I went and got corned beef. I got some instant mashed potatoes because I didn't feel like making real mashed potatoes. The wife was getting stuff for a birthday cake, doing all that shit. It was awesome. So we get home, start opening up the package. I start getting the corned beef ready. And then as I'm reading it, it's 50 minutes per pound. It's a 3.5 pound fucking corned beef.
Oh my god!
So at this point, it's I think it's like 8:30 or something like that, and I'm like, son of a bitch, dude. And like, so basically, the corned beef wasn't ready until damn near midnight, which really kind of sucked. But I still ate some that night. Damn it, I wasn't gonna let that go to waste. So ate a little bit that night. Fast forward to the following day, just had a nice relaxing day, just kind of hanging out. And all weekend, my kid, she kept telling me, she's like, after Friday, don't go into the back room. So we got this one back room downstairs. It's kind of like the office. She's got some of her play stuff back there. It's kind of like a communal room for stuff. And God bless the kid, man. She's a sweetheart. Because all weekend long, like, she's been planning this in her head. She's been planning this birthday party for, I think, probably all last week. Because when I picked her up from school on Friday, she asked me, I was playing like Dropkick Murphys and Flogging Molly because that's what I like to listen to around my birthday. I listen to it at other times, but specifically around my birthday. Or, the Pogues, the Dubliners, stuff like that. And but I just so happened to be playing a playlist that was Dropkick Murphys and Flogging Molly. And she asked what it was. So I told her it was Irish rock. And she's like, oh. She's like, you really like Irish rock, huh? And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, oh, well, if you had to pick, she goes, would you choose Irish rock, Metallica, or Queen? And I'm like, this kid's up to something. Like, you don't ask a question like that if you're not up to something. So I was like, I don't know. I'm like, that's a really hard question, kiddo. I'm like, I really like the Irish rock, but I think if you're talking about of all times, I'm thinking I might have to go with Queen on that one. She's like, oh, okay.
Wow.
So she goes, and I ultimately I had to get something from the back room after she's planning. Because what she did was she went to the back room. She's got a big dry erase board that she uses to play teacher. And she's got a whole list of all the things she's going to plan on. I didn't look at it because I don't want to ruin it. Like, she's put a lot of thought into this thing, and I don't want to ruin it for her. Because even as we're driving home, she mentioned she's going to have a surprise party for me on Sunday. And I had to mention to her, I'm like, well, it's not a surprise if you tell me about it, kiddo. Like, you need to, like, that's something that you need to keep to yourself. And she was like, well, no, like, there's surprises that will be in the party. And I was like, okay. And she's like, I really want to tell you one. And I know that feeling when you're planning something and you really want to tell them. And that's how she was. And she's like, I really want to tell you. And I'm like, no. Like, just don't tell me anything. We'll figure it out. So what she did was she has this whole thing planned out. Her and the wife on Friday, they went and planned the whole thing. So the wife kind of knows all this stuff. And she had everything mapped out from activities to foods, like specific foods. Which I don't think she was thinking about me when it came to the foods. I think she was thinking about the shit she wants because it was all the stuff that she likes. But that's perfectly fine. So Sunday rolls around. Her dad drops her off, and we start getting ready. The wife is getting the cake ready. And so they get the back room. It's all set up. And so the kid's like, all right, come on down the hallway here. And I'll guide you down the hallway. So as we get right near the doorway, all of a sudden she's like, okay, Mom, go. And all of a sudden you hear the beginning of Dropkick Murphys shipping up to Boston. And so that sets the scene as I walk in. Excuse me. As I walk in, look down, there's 3 cones set there. And so what she's done is she's created stations. So there's stations for the whole party. And we're going to go from station to station. And we're going to switch and do all this stuff. So station number 1 was the cones. And it's basically a cone drill. Where she's just like, we're just going to run around the cones. And that's all we did, is you just run around the cones. And so we ran around the cones like 3 or 4 times. She's, you can't touch the tent, because she's got a little tent set up back there. You can't touch the door. So she's just running around the cones. So we're sitting there and just running around the cones. And then the second station was karaoke, which probably didn't help with my voice.
No.
And so that's when we switched to, I think, a Queen song or a Metallica song or something. And so, we sang some karaoke. And then the next stations all kind of got jumbled together. But we have a bed back there, and on the bed over on the side, we bought all these like little bags of chips, and she has them all very neatly laid out. And you get to pick which bag of chips that you want. And then there's just a random thing of yogurts sitting like underneath the television, and there's lemonade. Lemonade was very important. We had to have lemonade, and she originally wanted like 10 cups. And I'm like, who are we inviting, kiddo? And she's like, well, it's just us. I'm like, well, what do you need the extra cups for? Or that's what my wife told her. And so, but ultimately there was 4 cups. And I'm like, did you invite somebody I don't know about? She's like, no, I just felt like having 4 cups. All right, fine. So then the next station of this birthday party is reading time. So she sits there and she's reading to me, different books. And then it was playtime, so we played around. She's got this little dinosaur set, and one of them has like the little mouths that move. The toy's like that big, and the mouth will open. So I was like playing with the toy, making it like it was singing the Metallica song. I can't remember. I think it was Master of Puppets. And so, but it was a fantastic birthday. The kid put a lot of thought into it.
That's really cute.
It was that easily vaulted itself to one of my favorite birthday moments. And I've got to do some cool shit on my birthday. Like Saturday, I posted on Facebook. Some of the cool stuff that I've been able to do. Like it was a couple of years ago, I got slapped by Jake the Snake Roberts, which was totally the shit.
Remember that?
We had, I spent 2 birthdays in Ireland, in Dublin, courtesy of Jameson Irish whiskey. Just all these different really cool things that I've been able to do. But the fact that she did that, she was willing to put forth that effort. She put all that thought into it. It just did that. Easily vaulted to the top of birthday moments for me, which was pretty cool. But yeah, it was a good birthday all in all. The birthday party was a ton of fun. But now we're going to make that smooth transition to the poop pants story. I really don't know how I was going to transition to it, but we were talking about it. So we were working with a diehard. Let me stop here. So Jerry says, "Can we hear the Ireland birthday story?" There's not really one particular story. But it was Jameson that they would advertise, and it was the global broadcast. And so what they would do is they would fly all these different radio stations out to Dublin for St. Patrick's Day. And one year our morning show guy got to do it. And then after they brought in a syndicated show, my boss Kevin and I got to go do it, and it was awesome. Like, I absolutely loved it. They ponied up on the hotel. Like, they paid for everything except for like random food items and stuff. I mean, they paid for everything. Maybe next week I'll go into more of the other stories from Ireland. But one of the main ones from that trip was Kevin and I are actual whiskey drinkers. We enjoy whiskey. I was telling my wife this, when we were talking about whiskeys and different kinds and stuff, and I told her, I go, man, if they made a non-alcoholic whiskey, I would drink it because I love the taste. I love how it tastes when it hits your tongue. I love that burn when it goes down your throat. I love how it warms your belly up. Like, I love every aspect of it. And it's almost like getting drunk is like the downside of whiskey, where for a lot of people, it's obviously the reverse. But for me, I enjoy a really good whiskey. And what we did was we would show, like, they had all these different events planned out the whole time we were there. Like, the first trip we went out there, they flew us out to Middleton, which is where the actual distillery is at now. We would broadcast from the old distillery, which is in Dublin. And as we would go to all these different places, they would have a table set up. It kind of looked like this. And there'd be glasses with whiskey and ice. And then they would just ask you, do you want like ginger or Coke? You want ginger ale or Coke in yours? And Kevin and I, every time we'd show up, we're like, we just want whiskey. Like, we don't want anything in it. We don't want ice. We don't want soda. We just want whiskey. Mm-hmm. And it took them after like 2 to 3 stations. And this is why they were so good. The people for, Jameson and their marketing company were just amazing. Because what would happen is Kevin and I would then show up at an event, and they'd have all these glasses that were filled with whiskey and ice. And then sitting over on the side, there was always 2 with just whiskey in it. And they always knew, like, when we showed up, those were for us. Oh, wow. Because they knew we were the whiskey drinkers. But I don't want to get too much into it. Jerry, I'll do that next week on next week's AfterBuzz. I'll get to more of those Dublin, Ireland, kind of St. Patrick's stories for you guys.
Maybe we can throw up pictures from that trip if you have any.
Oh, I got a ton of them. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we'll plan on that for next week for you guys. But yeah, so now we make the smooth transition to pooping pants. Man, I can't remember exactly how we got on this subject. But we were working with like a skeleton crew on Monday where it was me and Buzz and it was Daniel Paulus, our overnight guy. He was running the board because Joanna's out of town and Lisa took Monday off. And I got no voice. Nico showed up. So, I mean, it was a different show on Monday. And man, I can't remember what we were talking about. Oh, we were talking about there's the unwritten rules of life, the things you do and don't do in life. And one of them is don't peek in the gap in a stall because it's fucking weird, man. Like, if somebody's in there doing their business, tell them. But Buzz is like, well, I'll do it to see if somebody's in there. I'm like, that's what the door is for. Like,
if it's closed, then
yeah, if it's closed,
there.
There's somebody in there. And these ones here are obvious too, the ones that are off, is because the only way it stays closed is if it's locked. So unless somebody's locking it and then climbing out underneath or over top, somebody's in there. Like, you don't need to be like, oh, are you in there? And what I mentioned was one thing I'll do is I'll look underneath. I'll look underneath to see if there's feet there.
Right.
Because then you're not like being creepy. You're just checking to see if somebody's there. Because it is also awkward too if you're like pushing on the door and it's locked. And somebody's in there doing their business. Mm-hmm. So this one time when I was in Florida, I'm in the stall doing my thing. It's on the far side. So imagine I'm sitting here and there's a wall right here on my right hand side. There's another stall to the left, and then there's urinals to the left of that. So as I'm sitting there, somebody walks into the bathroom, and I'm weird, man. When I'm going to the bathroom like that, like nobody can be in there. Like, I stop and I get super quiet, which is weird because when I'm working on the morning show during the commercial break, you got limited time. You got to get the fuck out of there. Like, I can't hang out there. But like if I'm in there and somebody comes in, I'm like, I get super quiet. I'm like, all right, just fucking hurry up, get out of here. Now if somebody sits down, to go twosies, I'm like, I got to hurry up, so I'm out of here before them. Right. Like, it's a really fucked up mindset when it comes to going to the bathroom. I realize that. But, so I'm sitting there, somebody comes in, so I get super quiet. But they go to the urinal, so I'm like, all right, cool. I just got to wait for this person. I got to outlast them until, they go to the urinal. They'll go to wash their hands, and they're out the door. So as I'm sitting there, I kind of look down and I can, I see shoes just to make sure what's going on. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, since I'm being super quiet, you hear the guy grunt, and he hears, he tears ass. That's the bathroom. It's perfectly fine. If you've never seen The League, it was on FX. It's the show about the fantasy football league. There's a really funny part of that show. It's in one of the later seasons when one of the characters is in a bathroom at the urinal and he farts. And a guy next to him at the urinal, he's like, "Did you just fart, man?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like really proud of it. He's like, "Yeah, I did." And the guy goes, "Don't be disgusting." And he's like, "Well, if I can't fart in the bathroom, where am I supposed to fart?" Like, it's so funny. So I'm thinking, so this happens, but it didn't sound right. Like something sounded like not well with this dude's, gas. Sure enough, the dude then walks around when he's done peeing. He walks around to the stall that's next to me, and I hear the toilet paper going, and he starts wiping his ass because he shit his pants.
Oh god!
while he was at the urinal. So now I'm sitting there, and I'm like, fuck, like what do I do? Like I need to go back to work, but I don't want to move because I'm in the bathroom. And so I'm sitting there, and I look down, and so I see the guy's shoes. And ultimately, the guy gives up, and I think he realizes he has to poop because eventually, after he does that, the pants come all the way down, and he flips around and he sits down on the toilet. So I'm like, that's my moment. Got to get the hell out of here. So I hurry up and leave, but I memorized that dude's shoes. Fucking locked in on him. I know exactly who that is. So the rest of the day, I'm walking around and I'm looking for this set of shoes, and I can't fucking find them. Like there's a couple of guys that work near me, and I'm like, oh, it might be them, but it's different colors, not quite the same shoe. And my assistant, I told him, I'm like, dude, somebody just shit their pants in the bathroom. You need to help me find these shoes. So like all day, like I would send him on trips to the 4th floor of the building just so he could find the shoes. Like there was nothing to do up there. Like there was no paperwork to turn in. There was nothing to do. I want to find out who shit their pants. Never found out. Never fucking found out. But they were red and blue Air Force Ones. I fucking remember them to this day. I remember them. They had blue swooshes and red lines on these Air Force Ones. And I still don't know what the hell happened or who that was, I should say.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that guy he totally shit his pants. So anyway, Cruz says you always got to wait till no one is walking around to leave a stall. Yeah, dude, like that's, But then again, I'm telling you right now, like there's an age when that changes because when you're old, you don't fucking care anymore. Like I think Buzz is at that age. I don't want to throw the guy under the bus, but I think he's at that age. But there was this older gentleman that worked in the same building as us in Eugene. And I remember one time I got into the bathroom with that guy, and that guy didn't give a fuck. Like he would let it rip. It just, like I'm talking the bowls echoing and shit, and it's like it sounds like kids are playing in the pool. There's so much splashing going on.
Oh god, man.
So you're welcome. I just had to go there. So this one got really fucking gross. I'm sorry, but yeah. So anyway, so that's the poop pants story. I started to tell it on the air, and I think Buzz knew it was going to be kind of gross. And he cut me off, so I had to tell it here on the AfterBuzz because it's a pretty gross story.
It was well worth it.
But yeah, so let me check in on the chat here and see what some people are saying. I don't have any issues. Alejandro's apparently currently in the restroom at work. Oh, Edward says he went home. He shit his pants. That's why he couldn't find those shoes. He probably did.
Probably did.
He probably did go home. But yeah, I was really hoping, man. Because even after that, I still remember those shoes to this day. Never found out who it was. And in my heart of hearts, I always like to pretend it was DJ Khaled. But there's one way to know it wasn't DJ Khaled because whoever was at the urinal didn't have their pants around their fucking ankles. Because if you have your pants around your fucking ankles, you're not shitting your pants. Although, come to think of it, it could have been him. Maybe he just need to wipe his ass. I don't know. Dude, he has a gross butt. Like I'm not joking.
I don't even want to.
That guy. Like I don't want it to be mean. I don't like to bash people. I mean, I do like to poke fun every now and then. But like if somebody's a jerk to me more than once, then it kind of opens the floodgates for that. And DJ Khaled is not a nice guy. Like there's all these people that work down in Florida like, oh, he's so nice. He does all this stuff. Like, no, he's fucking selfish. Like he's not like he has no self-awareness, and he's just like, unless he needs something from you, you can go fuck yourself. And that, like, at least in his mind. And that's the thing, is that for a lot of those people who are like, oh, he's so nice. Yeah, because he wants you as his fan. I think he knew when it came to me. I didn't fucking care. I wasn't listening to his music. I didn't care how much he fucking wins or how many N's he needs to use on the word listen on his fucking album. I don't give a shit about any of that. But if you're a nice guy, I'm going to be a nice guy too. I'll even try to be a nice guy if you're a dick, because I think that's one of the most telling things when you're a person. When you're a person, depending on what kind of person you are, this is a really fucked up afterbuzz. That will tell you what kind of person you are is how you treat people that are fucking mean to you, how you treat people that, it's always, I think the saying was always, it's always nice to be the person who's nice. It's difficult to be nice to the person who's not. And I think that shows you the kind of character of the kind of person you are. And I'll admit it. Like, I get stuck in those traps. Like, I'll be a dick to somebody. Like, if I'm having a bad day, I might say something I regret, but I'll feel like a piece of shit afterwards, and I'll go apologize to that person. Because some of this shit like that's gonna happen. DJ Khaled, fucking pull your pants up, dude. Seriously. And I'm not talking about just like sagging pants. I'm talking about when you pee. It's fucking gross. Anyway, really quickly, Alejandro also wrote that this is why he chose me to survive on the island of Muppets. I totally forgot I was going to talk about that.
That's right.
And this is why I have my notes, and I forgot to write that down. So I am going to mark that here really quick, because that was one of the things, and I meant to do this before we got logged on, and I knew there was something I should have been doing, and I totally fucking forgot about it. But I'll bring it up here, and you guys will have to kind of ease into it here a little bit. Please bring that back up. Oh, of course it's not going to do that. Here we go. Yeah. So just really quick side note, and sad note or whatever. But if you guys here in El Paso for KLAQ, if you guys didn't know who Mardi Gras was, I never met the guy because he wasn't at the station by the time I got here. But he was murdered back in 2016, and the breaking news that just popped up from KVIA is that the jury found the guy guilty. So. That's a good closure to that story for anybody who knew him. I never personally knew the guy, but
no, that was a sad story when we heard about it.
I remember, Kevin, my boss, because he obviously did work with the kid. He let me know that day, like the day that it happened, because he had to figure out how he was going to tell everybody here at work. But anyway, okay, so the Muppets thing, we'll get to that here in a moment. Eric says, I did kind of the same thing when I used to work at a big call center. Some guys have no shame. I would find out who was tearing up the restrooms by their shoes. Like, it's what you do. You look for shoes, man. And Andres said, did you ever look for those shoes after that day? I did, and I never found them, man. I found similar looking shoes. So what I have a feeling might have happened is it might have been somebody who, it was a client and was just stopping by for the day, or it might have just been a friend or family member of somebody that worked there, which is difficult because radio station buildings are hard to get into for lots of reasons. But that one was even more difficult because the lobby was on the first floor. Everything else was, second to fourth floor. No, I never found out whose shoes those were. But anyway, so this is going to be an extra long AfterBuzz apparently. What's the next damn topic I was talking about? I got sidetracked by Muppets. Oh, Idris Elba. So that dude's amazing. So I've mentioned before I was watching Luther. I wrapped up Luther. At least what's available on Netflix, which if you haven't watched it, you've only got 2 weeks left before it goes away because April 1st, Luther is leaving Netflix. The final season that's available on Netflix, it's not the final season that they've done. It's only 2 episodes long. It's got the chick that plays Ygritte on Game of Thrones, the redheaded one. You know nothing, Jon Snow. She's in that season.
I love her.
And so she... I was okay with the second season. I didn't think it was as good as some of the other ones. It seemed like they were kind of like, hey, we haven't done this in a while, and this is a moneymaker, so let's go ahead and do it. But Idris Elba is the man. His new show is Turn Up Charlie, and that's all of. And here's the thing: so the dude's a DJ and his kickboxing career. We're gonna get to kickboxing in a moment, but he was an actual DJ, and his new show is called Turn Up Charlie, and Turn Up Charlie is all about a former DJ who's trying to get back, rebuild his career, and he ends up becoming a babysitter for his really famous friend's kid. And I need to watch it. I think it looks pretty damn entertaining. It's a comedy. But the kickboxing thing, this is what fascinates me about Idris Elba, is that he set out to um, become a professional fighter, to like to have an actual professional kickboxing fight. And if you guys don't know this about me, I ended up I started training a couple of years ago, kickboxing and stuff like that. Of course, the shoulder thing has kind of really put a kink in those works, and we were planning on putting me in a fight. Like that's the end goal. Like I don't know if it's going to happen still, but I mean I'd like to get there. And it wouldn't be a professional fight like the one Idris got, but like some sort of an actual match where you're testing your skills against somebody else. But the shoulder really threw a cog into those works because I mean it's been 2 months and I'm just now like I'm able to jog. I'm like, wow, I felt so fucking slow yesterday. I timed myself. I'm running like a 10-minute, 18-second mile, and that is a fucking slug compared to what I was doing. But you can't get discouraged. You just like you got to realize that after 2 months, I've been eating like shit too, and it's just I need to get back into my routine of eating healthier and making sure that I'm working out more.
That's your starting point, man. From there, you can only get better.
Exactly. So. But yeah, so Idris Elba, so there's a documentary that he did while they were doing this. And I didn't realize this, but one of his good friends, is Warren something, I'm blanking on the kid's name now. He's on Luther. And he was actually a professional fighter. Like this kid was a professional kickboxer. So he's kind of there to help. Warren Brown is his name. And so he was out there to help Idris kind of with the process and everything else that they're going through. And everybody's talking about bathrooms.
They're still tapping.
Jesus, we've moved topics, people. Let's do this. Come on, follow me here. I know it's a really sporadic episode, but just follow me, please. So what happened is early on, like he had an injury, like he had to have back surgery, but it wasn't something horrible. It was just a couple of weeks later he was able to get back to fighting, but then he went to go film a movie, so he was gone for a couple of months. And so if you want to watch it, all you have to do is type Idris Elba kickboxing, and it'll pop up on YouTube, and you can watch it up on YouTube. And each episode's about 45 to 50 minutes long, and it's fascinating to watch because Idris Elba, man, that dude, like being in this career, you kind of I don't want to say get desensitized to celebrities, but it's just you kind of do. I mean, I guess that's the only really way you can put it. But there's certain ones still that to this day it's like holy fuck, like that's that guy.
Yeah.
And Idris Elba would definitely be one of those guys.
It kind of reminds me of those YouTube videos where Keanu Reeves is going through his shooting training for the John Wick series.
Yeah.
And if you ever watched that, I mean, Keanu Reeves can sling some lead downrange, pretty good, pretty well with the best of them too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Keanu Reeves is another fucking badass. Like that'd be another guy I'd love to fucking meet. Like Keanu Reeves just seems like a cool ass dude. And if you haven't heard like the backstories of Keanu Reeves and just how cool of an actual person he is, I highly suggest going and looking some of those stories up because Idris Elba too, but Keanu Reeves is truly just a warm-hearted, genuine human being that this world needs more of. How big a guy is Idris Elba? Let me check his Wikipedia page here. He's he's about 6'3". He's a big dude. He's fighting heavyweights, and that's the thing that when he's doing this kickboxing thing, he's training. And I mean, he goes through this brutal fucking training. Like, there's this one guy, they fly him over to Japan, and he's training with this like karate master, and they're doing this stuff where he's got his hand up, and the guy's just like fucking like just coming down super hard, like on his forearms and stuff. The next day, I remind you, Idris Elba's a black guy. He's just fucking super dark bruises all over his forearms. Like, It just looks like it's super painful. So then his coach is like working him out. And he's like rubbing his forearm, and he's in excruciating pain. And there's a couple times, sorry about that, I just bumped the mic if that bugged you guys. And there was a couple of times there where like he questioned. He's like, I'm really starting to wonder if this is something I want to finish. And like there's one point where he goes to dinner with his friend Warren, and he's like, at the beginning, it's that kind of romanticized, like, yeah, I want to be a fighter attitude, and like that's good, but he's like, but the work is a lot more than you could even fathom. But it's just, it's a super cool story. I highly recommend it. I'm oh God, what is it? Like middle, I think it's only 3 episodes. I think it's 3 parts, and I'm about halfway through the second one. But I highly recommend it, just because Idris Elba's a badass. Okay, so to kind of get through this a little bit quicker here, so we have our own staff bracket challenge here at Town Square Media, and it's one of those ones that has the random button where you click random.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, you know what, man, there was back in 09, I think it was, and it was when I was over in Ireland. No, I take it back. It was 08, because it was the year before I went to Ireland. I was in like the 99 something percentile on ESPN.com. Like I was like towards the fucking top, close to like making money just from prizes and stuff. So I was like, oh, and I did some research before that one. I looked into the teams. I'm like, oh, I'm good at this. I know what I'm doing. I am brilliant when it comes to college basketball. No, I'm not. I'm a fucking idiot. Because the very next year, I did all this research, and I'm picking these teams. And, I'm going to do it again, except this year's going to be better. Man, like every one of my teams was out by the Sweet 16. It wasn't even close. Like I was in like the 10th percentile. So it's got to the point now where I'm like, I hate putting in all this work only to have it be blown up. So I was like, you know what? One click of the mouse, fuck it. I did it. So I signed up for ours here for Town Square Media. This is throughout the whole country. And the first click of the mouse has Oregon going all the way. And I was like, well, I got to fucking keep it. So I'm not going to say who my Final Four is now, but I got Oregon winning the whole fucking thing, all based on a random button. So there you go. Anyway, so then, Eric's laughing at me, says I started this shit talking about the bathrooms. Oh, God. Yeah, I just saw your fucking comment. That's disgusting. Crap blood on top of a... Come on. God damn it. Fuck. But so I remember we talked about something like this on the air a while ago, and a girl called up, and we were talking about how, like, I mentioned how, if I sit down, I always pull a couple of squares off the thing, pull it out, you put that immediately in the toilet, you do it very quickly and like daintily because you don't want to touch it too much because you don't know what the fuck's on there. And then you pull off some more, you wipe the seat down, but you make sure that your skin's not touching that seat, dude. Like you got to make sure that like you don't want to use too much, but you got to make sure it's balled up real nice around your fingers and you scrub it. See, you guys brought the shit back out of me. Like what the fuck is wrong with you guys? But anyway, and then you go like that, and then this girl called up and she told us a story about how the one time where she had the toilet paper there and there's fucking blood on it. Like that's so fucking disgusting. Like if you do that, why would you not pull that shit off so the next person doesn't walk into that? And it reminds me, another thing, clean up after yourself. Please. Don't be a fucking pig. Guys, don't piss all over the seat. Like if you have that much of a problem, sit down. Seriously. There's no shame in that. I mean, there is, but I mean, come on. Like just don't fucking pee all over everything, dude. It's disgusting. But anyway, so let's move on. The final topic here, right? We're moving on from this? Okay. How long have we been running on this episode so far?
Well, about 40 minutes.
All right. So we had this question posed. It's over on our Facebook page. If you guys would like to join the question, pose it over on Facebook. So the picture, it's got the four of us. And what's interesting is that it was the picture that we took with the crayons that never got used. It was the offensive crayons. And what we originally planned for this picture was all of the pictures were going to be like us holding the crayon that described us. And mine was like a skin tone like mine. And it said the color, because like the offensive crayons of what they describe the color to be. And the white one was, it just said privilege on it. And the black one just says matters on it. But then this one, it was like a flesh tone like mine, like a super light flesh. And it just said, your parents' divorce was your fault. Oh, which fucking stings because I'm the only one on the show whose parents are divorced. Oh, so it was pretty funny. But then the thing that sucks, so when you look at this picture, if you go to Facebook and you look at this picture of the four of us, I got this like really sad, morose look on my face because that's the picture that they chose for this one where I'm like, oh, my parents are divorced. It's my divorced kid look face. Okay. But anyway, so we went through a few of these on the air this morning, and I'll go through some more here because I'm totally kicking people's ass in this one because the question that's posed is you can only take one of them to survive on an island controlled by Muppets. Who are you taking? And let me see here. Ryan Dove, he said, if I needed to rely on anyone for any reason, I would take Brandon. I read that one on the air this morning, and Buzz goes, yeah, me too.
He said
yeah, he's like,
agreed.
yeah, me too.
He agreed, yeah.
Michael Ash says, Buzz is too damn stubborn to take, would spend more time arguing over how to survive than actually survive. Brandon and Lisa use common sense in different ways. Brandon is direct. Lisa goes through extra channels, but eventually gets there. I'd have to say Brandon. I don't understand Joanna enough to make a decision. I'll stick to the ones that are about me since this is the after buzz. Cynthia Conde says I choose Brandon. I sense he has survival skills. I would say that I'd probably become a ruthless son of a bitch when it comes to surviving, especially those Muppets, man. You got to get in the fucking 1-2 there, huh? Let me see here. Although there's a really good one. Michael Rivera wrote this one. It would take a lot of song and dance numbers to get through a Muppet situation like this. So Buzz, since he has the most musical ability. I mean, that's a pretty brilliant thought process right there. Nice. I wanted to mention this guy too, Eddie Robles. He says, you all have made my morning since 2015. Hope one day I can get your autograph and meet you all. But I have to say, Buzz, he would keep it real. Eddie, we go out at, we're out and about sometimes out at, events, stop on by, say hi. Like, we always appreciate it. Like there was a guy that stopped by. I was out at Viva Mazda a couple of weekends ago, and there was a guy that stopped by, and he just because he heard me with it, heard I was there. He's a super cool dude. He was a super nice guy. It's good to just kind of talk to him. We chatted with him for like 20 minutes, and as we were packing up, like the guy was genuine. Like he shook my hand. He was like, "Thank you for taking the time to talk to me." And I'm like, "Absolutely, dude. Like, if you want to come stop by and say hi, then we're not going to fucking kick you away." Audrey Sanchez says, for reliability reasons alone, Brandon. Let me see here. And then, of course, my friends had to chime in. So if anybody writes GOAT in those, those are my friends. Like those are the ones that are my friends. Joseph Sutton says, Brandon, he'd fuck shit up. And then you get to something here to where the people are just typing the name. Timothy Gwynn, he said, is it possible to just take Brandon's fly beard? Apparently people like my beard. Like, I'm not really sure why. I mean, it's just kind of a typical beard. It's getting a lot wider too, man, since I've had the family. I'm telling you. Like I got a Barack Obama type of progression here. Like you look at his first day of office compared to his last day of office. Look at me when I first started here. And it's probably not just the family. It's probably work too. I'm pretty sure Buzz does a whole lot of it too. Let me see if anybody else on here. JD Carver says, simply because Brandon has been physically broken a lot recently, I'm going to have to go with Lisa. I can't do surgery on your shoulder, buddy. Like, nah, I completely respect that. Luigi Conti says, Brandon, I choose you. And apparently people think I want to fight Muppets a lot because Roberto Evans Torres says, I know Brandon will probably help me kill them. Ever Adams says, that's a no-brainer. Brandon for sure. He can kick some Muppet ass. And so do I. Hell, everybody can kick some Muppet ass except Buzz. Yeah, I don't think he could. And then I think at that point we're just kind of at the people who are just kind of listing names. But if you want to check this out, you can. It's over on the Buzz Adams Morning Show Facebook page. And if you guys haven't, chimed in yet, by all means, go chime in on over there. And Jerry in the YouTube chat just said that Buzz would be too busy having accidents. So who knows? But maybe that could lead to a funny song. And Kim says you look sad on that pic, Brandon. I was like, yeah, that's the pic. Where I was like, you can't see it in the photo. It's right there. This guy. It's right down about right here would be where I'd be holding the crayon that has the your parents' divorce was your fault on it, which is fucking funny. And that reminds me. You know what? Fuck it. I got some giveaways. I won't do any giveaways this week. Dave, remind me next week.
Sure.
Because the girl, lady, I don't fucking know what to call people anymore. The man, the chick, the person. Fuck, I don't know. You know what? She's not going to care. She created the offensive crayons. The chick that created them. Like, if she's creating the offensive crayons, I don't think she's going to be offended by what I say. But she was super cool. We interviewed her on the show, and she asked if there was anything we needed, and she sent some packages of crayons. So I got to find him in the studio, and maybe I can package some stuff together, and we'll do some giveaways on the AfterBuzz next week.
Awesome.
But yeah, so if you guys want to do that, then by all means, we could just don't leave them out for your kids. Because a lot, like, this is something that we kind of jokingly said. I can't remember if we said this on the air or if we said it off air. Was that we were joking about what you should do is you should take the crayons and swap them out for your kids that they take to school.
That's a good way.
But that would be pretty fucked up. Cobra Commander apparently likes that I called it the ma'am. Like, I didn't know. I was stumbling there. I couldn't fucking think of it. It's been a long week, and I got to tell you, when my voice is like this, it's even more strenuous to think and speak at the same fucking time, which makes it super hard, which is why this has been a really sporadic and long AfterBuzz. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, because this has been a really fun AfterBuzz to talk about this stuff.
Before we go, I want to give you something from the core YouTube chatters, the guys that have been from with you since day one, and for mine, for your birthday.
Oh, and you guys know just what I like. It's Jameson Irish whiskey. Well, thank you to everybody who pitched in on this. I definitely appreciate it. It will be thoroughly enjoyed. I appreciate it. Love you guys. I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted here also by the YouTube chat. So Eric just said, wasn't Buzz the one who threw the sissy punch in a video? So that's a no for Buzz for survival. Yeah, if you guys want to see it, it's here on YouTube. You got to scroll back pretty far though. Or no, just go to the Buzz versus Brandon playlist, because in that playlist there's one. We randomly broke into a game of 2 for flinching during one of our Mosho meetings, and it was the 2 for flinching, and then what's this one called? The game called when like you hold this and you hold it under your, and if somebody sees it, you get to punch them.
I don't know what it's called.
I don't know what the game's called, but everybody knows that game, right? Okay, yeah. So we were doing that one, and it was just, he and I were doing it, and I was like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna fucking hit him. So I hit him, and I didn't even put that much behind it. Mm-hmm. I hit him and he, man, when he got me, like he missed, like he double pumped it somehow, and he missed. Like it was sad. Like I felt bad for the guy. And you can even kind of see that too if you go to the bird boxing video. And I still think one of the funniest parts of the bird boxing video, it's Lisa and Joanna's reaction. Because neither of them could stop laughing, and I don't think Lisa knew that I was actually. I wasn't even swinging hard. But the one thing that if you training in boxing, your form makes it a harder punch than it would normally be. And so we had those big ass gloves on, and it's when we're connecting with them. And it's at the very, right out of the gate, the first round when Buzz and I kind of get closer to each other. And when I hit him with like a left and a right, it's like boom, boom. And look behind and look at Lisa, because her reaction is fucking hilarious, because I don't think she was expecting that, and she can't stop laughing, which then kind of fucks Buzz over, because she's supposed to be his eyes and tell him where to go. It's easily the best part of that video. But anyway, actually, no, there's a couple different best parts, because another one is when I popped the bird off his head. It's just like I went down and I hit him with just a straight right, and just bing, and it popped it right off the top of his head. Oh, and listen for Joanna's reaction to that, because Joanna's reaction to that is fucking hilarious. But anyway, I need to get going. I got to go rest my voice. Let me think. What are we going to cover here? So next week, remind me, I'll tell more of the Ireland stories when we were over there for my birthday for a couple of years, because I got to go 2 years back to back. Ooh, you know what sucks too? We were supposed to go a third year, but the station flipped to easy listening.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Fucking irritating as hell. But not the end of the world. I've still got to go twice. My 29th and 30th birthdays, I got to celebrate them over there. But by all means, this birthday this past year, and what the kid did for it, and the fact that the amount of thought and everything that she was putting into it, just it warmed my heart. She was amazing, and it vaulted that birthday easily right damn near towards the top, because of how amazing she was and how fun that was with her. So on that note, remind you guys down below, make sure you're clicking that like button, make sure you're subscribing to the channel, and make sure you hit that bell too, so you know when to go live, because sometimes we're not able to go live. Fuck, it's been a long week already. Go live exactly at 10:30 because we get bogged down. We have computer issues. So it's not always exactly at 10:30. And what will happen is sometimes if I don't go exactly at 10:30, people are already messaging like, hey, you guys going to do it? And we're like, yeah, we're just, trying to figure some stuff out first. I might get delayed by somebody in the hallway talking about something. Oh, shit. And that reminds me, if you're in El Paso, Shim's coming to town. Shim's going to be here on the 30th. And I'll do, you know what? I'll save the story of how all that thing kind of came to fruition for next week's AfterBuzz as well. So I got to make my notes here. You guys have yourselves a fantastic Wednesday. Have a great rest of the week. Be nice to everybody you run into. Don't be a dick. Unless it's DJ Khaled. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't be a dick to that. Okay, I don't know. See how you feel. See how your mood's going. If you've had a shitty day, maybe you're like, hey, your album sucked. You know what? Maybe you don't always win. How many ends do you need in listen? For fuck's sake. All right. On that note, have yourselves a fantastic day, and we will see you here next week again, 10:30 Mountain Time for the AfterBuzz. But before that, bright and early tomorrow morning, 5 a.m. Mountain Time for the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Peace out.